It all started a few days before my big Halloween party that I've had here for most of the years that I've lived here. I was in the middle of finishing up the signs that hang on the walls and other areas of here for my haunted funhouse when I decided to take a break, and I got out of my green armchair and went outside to get the mail. I walked down the long dirt and gravel driveway, got the mail out of the mailbox, and headed back to the house. And what did I see? Perched above the top of the front porch screen door was what looked like a copperhead snake that was over a foot long. And it was poised and ready to strike just like this. I thought about trying to go into the house, but I was afraid I was going to get bitten. And now it was drizzling, but still I ran down the road to my dad's house to go get his roommate Ernie to go kill this thing. And now it was raining harder as I ran toward there. I was panicking. I got him. We got in his truck and he drove here. I got the little spade that was leaning on the side of my house and I gave it to Ernie. He used my broom that was sitting on the front porch to knock the snake off the top of the door and off the porch, where he struck it several times on the neck and cut its head. His head wasn't completely cut off, but it was enough to kill it. Whew. It was such a relief, and I took a couple pictures of the snake. And for all those that are greatly afraid of snakes, look away from the screen, because I'm about to show you a picture of the snake. There's the copperhead snake right off my porch. I had it lay there for hours before I flipped it in the weeds on the edge of the yard. I thanked Ernie for being my great hero. Then I went back in the house, sat back down in my green armchair, and continued working on my signs. About an hour or so after that, while I was working on the signs and listening to the Halloween music channel on Charter, a severe tornado warning appeared on screen. But before I could go into the bathroom closet to hide, whoosh, and then crash, one of the panes of the window behind me shattered, and glass went flying all over the living room. Before I show you pictures of the damage, I'm going to show you a picture of how my yard used to look. This picture was taken way back on February 20th, 2013, but my yard doesn't change much until last year. There was plenty of grass in my yard. There's a big oak tree over there on the right side of the picture, and there's the neighbor's picket fence on the left side. There were trees all on the right side of my yard, as you can see there, and there were a lot of trees in the woods behind my house too. This picture shows the big oak tree that fell in front of my house. That little black and white spotted thing in front of the tree is one of those clay pot lighthouses that my dad made. And right over here is a foam gravestone from Halloween with a bunch of fake autumn leaves tied around the lamppost there. This picture shows the stump of the beautiful oak tree that was in my yard. Now this wooden gravestone is all that's left of it. Here's parts of the neighbor's white picket fence that was knocked down by the tornado. And this one shows where all the trees were that had to be bulldozed. All that's left is a bunch of old roots and sticks. It's 12:38 in the morning, and I am really tired. So I apologize for messing up my words and forgetting to say things about the pictures I just showed you. At least I put captions on screen so you could get the extra details. I'm going to take a big drink of my 1987 A&W root beer so I can have the energy to tie in you. Alright, I'm already feeling a lot better. For the evening of the tornado and the next couple of days, I swept and vacuumed up all the broken glass from the window pane that went all over the living room. Several days later, Dad fixed the broken window pane with a new pane of glass. But I do need to talk to him about the whistling sound that the wind makes from that tiny little bit of space that the wind blows through. Sometimes it sounds like the wind is howling. And after all the trauma I went through with the tornado The sound of the whistling and howling wind coming through the living room window scares me. So after the tornado, I've been depressed on and off again for months. Losing most of my trees meant I lost most of my privacy. Without most of those trees surrounding the museum, I don't feel as safe either. So yesterday, right before this party, a little after 6 o'clock, Luigi pulled me aside and we had a talk. He told me that it was really depressing him seeing how depressed I was. It wasn't just really depressing for him, it was also really depressing for Mario, Louie, and Doc Brown. So he was going to be in charge of regrowing my yard. And Mario, Louie, and Doc were all going to help. And of course I insisted on helping too. Throughout the Mushroom Kingdom, Luigi is known as an expert gardener. He's also known as one throughout many of the kingdoms and lands of the Mushroom World, which is the planet where Mario, Luigi, all the other characters from the Mario world, and all the other characters from the Donkey Kong world live. So with great happiness, I am greatly looking forward to seeing how the yard will turn out. But I told Luigi I didn't want to use any of Doc Brown's super science, and we definitely couldn't use any of the power stars again, or Bowser would hear them, and he'd finally discover the top secret warp pipe that led from the Mushroom Kingdom to the woods behind my house. Then he would invade Earth, take it over, and enslave us all. And that would be greatly bad. So anyway, look forward to seeing cell phone picture updates on the progress of my regrowing yard throughout this season. Well, that's enough of all that tornado talk. Now I'm finally going to be talking about that TY-nado of big changes. First off, this is that cheap $7 Chinese webcam that I used to film the first 24 episodes of Video World, and the 7-episode complete series of Tiny Ty Talk. But ever since episode 25, this series has been filmed in HD. See how much clearer the picture is compared to the first 24 episodes of this series and Tiny Ty Talk? The new HD webcam will also allow for much better sound than this. This also means that when different characters speak, I won't have to use captions on screen so much. And with future episodes of this series, they will be much more organized, so I can fit plenty of filming and won't have to use so many captions. Because I'm well aware that the too many captions thing has been a big problem since episode 2 of this series and throughout Tiny Ty Talk. I was originally going to give this to one of my best friends, Linda Thompson, but after the many good times and the many bad times, I've decided to keep the little guy around as a greatly big symbol of how this series used to be, in that it greatly needed improvement. But don't worry, Linda, because I'm going to be buying you another one of this webcam. Ever since episode 25, which was the season 3 premiere of this series, I've been using this Logitech C920 HD Pro webcam to film in 1080p, 15 megapixel, and widescreen. And since this is an empty box, this is what the camera looks like. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? This will also be the first season of this series to have 18 episodes instead of 12. You can read in the caption on the screen why the number 18 is so important to me. I also want to keep these episodes much shorter than I ever have done in the past. So, since by superstition the number 13 is such bad luck, I've decided that for fun, I'll keep each episode under 13 minutes. Another big change beginning with this season are episodes focused on the R-Ty facts here in Tidy 80s Guys' Great 80s and 90s Museum. There will be one R-Ty fact per episode of that kind, and the first one has to do with the Super Nintendo. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The last big change I'm going to talk about in this season are episodes known as Twoper Starisodes. These will be much shorter episodes that only star one or more other characters of this series. This means that I'm not even in the episode. So that will give you something greatly cool to look forward to. Anyway, that's it for all the big changes that I'm going to reveal in this RE-In-TY-roduction party. Anyway, that's it for this super duper long party. It's now 2:14 Saturday morning. The rest of the partiers just left, and Mario, Luigi, Doc, and greatly surprising, the extremely ADHD Louis Fluis are all asleep in their sleeping bags here on the living room floor. So have a great day or night, depending on where you are, and be fantastically chipperific. See you in the next episode. Bye.